Hey, this is Vanilla Ice, and you're listening to The Rick Fowler Show.
And now, The Rick Fowler Show.
You will not laugh. You will not cry. You will learn by the numbers. I will teach you. Drums, please.
All right, I want to welcome everybody to the 62nd edition of The Rick Fowler Show. Today's show is presented by Deutz Village Inn, located in Pontoon Beach, Illinois. It is a place where everybody knows your name. You can hear live music. Don't forget Karaoke Sunday, which is highly entertaining. Not all of them are good singers, but they sure are fun to watch. They have good food and cold drinks, so check them out. Deutz Village Inn, proud sponsor of the Rick Fowler Show. I hope everybody's able to keep cool today. It is a hot one. Here's your show preview. In the studio, here in a little bit. We're going to introduce Marsha Timme and Brooke Imshoff of the Hard Rock Cafe. A little later, Laura Sell of Dawson's Fitness and Boot Camp will be here, telling you how to get in shape. What's interesting is the Hard Rock Cafe people have brought snacks, and Laura Sell is going to tell me how that I can shed those calories and those pounds that I'm going to put on here in a bit. Matt Miller and his bandmates from Mastermind will be here. So, and we also have Rick's Pick of the Day at the top of the hour, so hang around. A lot of neat stuff planned here today on the Rick Fowler Show. As we said, today's show is presented by Deutz Village Inn. Live music all week, karaoke on Sunday, and I will tell you on Wednesdays they have tacos that they're hard to beat. If you have never had a deep fried taco, you need to. Surprisingly, I come across people every now and then that have not had a deep fried taco, and I was almost raised on the darn things just because. The area I grew up in, a lot of Mexicans, and that's just kind of what you did. So, all right, without further ado, let me cue up some intro music for our first guest here today.
What's the matter with the clothes I'm wearing? Can't you tell that your tie's too wide?
All right, welcome to the Rick Fowler Show. Head chef of the Hard Rock Cafe, Marsha Timme, and the sales manager and marketing, Miss Brooke Imshoff. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, glad to have you in here. You guys didn't have to bring snacks.
Of course we did.
Well, you didn't have to, but it is appreciated. So, how are things at the Hard Rock Cafe these days?
Very well.
Yeah?
Very well.
I was glad to schedule this, and Marsha had been trying for a while. I was glad that we finally got to do this.
Finally worked out.
Yeah, right. So tell me, what is it like working at such a cool place?
Just like you said, it's just really cool. It's a never-ending cycle of different people coming through. What's different about Hard Rock is we have a lot of travelers that come through. So you get to meet people from not only all over the country, but from all over the world. A lot of people like to come in and drive the Route 66. So just to sit down and talk with these individuals and hear their story is really fascinating.
So you get a real mix of who knows who and who knows from where.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
We have a group coming in at the end of the month that is from China. They're tourists on their way. They're driving Route 66 and they're coming through. So they'll eat dinner with us and it'll be great.
Now, I've never heard of anything like that. Somebody coming from China just to take the scenic route on Route 66. Now that probably doesn't happen every day.
No, it's an emerging market for us. They like to start in Indianapolis and make their way down through Chicago and come see us, and then go to the Hard Rock Hotel in Tulsa, Oklahoma, through Phoenix and all those places.
Wow, that's kind of cool. Let's back up. When did Hard Rock Cafe start?
June 14th, 1971.
Okay, 71, and it wasn't in the United States, was
It's
it?
in London.
Okay, I thought I knew that much.
Yeah.
So a couple of guys was it a bar or restaurant?
It opened as a restaurant, so they're over in London, and Peter Morton and Isaac Tigret were over in London, and basically came down to where the food over there was very bland. And back in the early 70s, you were either a banker or a butcher, and never did the two intertwine. So they wanted a place where they could come and get good, flavorful American food, where everyone was going to be welcome, no matter your class or your social class. So that's how Hard Rock started.
Wow, and I've never heard the backstory on that, so thank you for that. So, and how many of them are there?
Over 180.
180?
180 all over the world.
No, I
And-
expected 30 or 40, maybe 50.
Yeah, and that doesn't count the hotels and Roxinos either. So with that, we're over 200.
Okay, when I did some reading and last night, and I just, you hear that there are these places, and I didn't realize that there were that many hotels, and you call them Roxinos. Roxinos.
How you get around the gambling laws.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, let me ask you this. Is there like a Taj Mahal of the Hard Rock cafes, like the one that just takes the cake as...
Well, I mean, for me, when I went to London last year, that was a big deal to see the flagship, the Hard Rock original store.
So, is the original store... would I be
in that same spot? Yeah.
Would I be let down if I seen it?
No.
Oh, it would live up to the history.
Absolutely.
The original piece of memorabilia that we received, the guitar, is still hanging in its spot above the bar. And I'm blanking on the name. Whose name is that?
Eric Clapton.
Eric Clapton, yeah.
And you were there.
Yes. And his guitar is still above the bar. He sent a note and said, hang this above my bar stool, and the memorabilia collection was born.
And then Peter Townsend sent one and said, my guitar's as good as his. So Peter Townsend's got hung up right next to Eric Clapton's, and that's how our memorabilia collection started.
And they are still hanging there. And
Now,
it's
I
very
have to
cool.
think that that's an old building to still be standing and, I guess, taken very well care of.
Yes.
Is there a Hard Rock Cafe that is just over the top, like a Graceland, or something that you could imagine that would just be the be-all, end-all?
Some of the new ones in China are amazing. The hotel in Ibiza is amazing. The one I would love to visit is the one they just opened in Sydney. And it's absolutely beautiful. It just looks so modern, but it's right on the beach, and it just looks like you sit on that patio, and it looks like an amazing time.
And that's where I was going to go next. Which one would you like to see that you haven't seen? Are there any more?
See, mine would be London, because I haven't seen London yet.
Okay.
So I would be that. That would be mine. And obviously Punta Cana, because that's a full resort down there. So
Absolutely.
But I'd have to say my favorite flagship that I've seen would be Orlando, just because it is so big. Probably take you 3 to 4 days if you want to go through and look at every piece of memorabilia that they have. It would take you a few days.
Absolutely.
So is Orlando one of the biggest, or just up there with several others that are?
I want to say it is the biggest in the United States, followed closely, if not neck and neck, with New York City Times Square.
Now, how about the one in Las Vegas? Because everything in Vegas is supremely over the top. Is that one out there too?
I don't know the cafe itself. I'm sure the building, the whole entity itself would probably be bigger.
Yes.
With the cafe and the casino and the hotel.
And now that it's all moving to the Strip, it was on Paradise Road, which at the time it was built was the place to be. And now it's all moving down to the Strip. I'm sure that hotel is going to be absolutely amazing when it opens.
Wow. Man, that's cool. How many of them have you seen? Brooke first.
Oh gosh, I don't even know. It's in the double digits, I can tell you that, but I honestly don't know off the top of my head. I'd like to say maybe 15 or 20.
What was your first out of town one that you seen?
First out of town, Maui, actually.
Okay.
When I was 16 years old.
What about you? How many?
10.
10?
I'm at
Okay.
10. My first one was Maui. and my second was Niagara Falls.
Yeah.
And then I lose track after that.
I know.
Well, I bet the one at Niagara's kind of neat.
It is. It was very neat.
Well, there's two actually in Niagara. There's one on the American side and one on the Canadian side.
Oh man, they don't miss any chance to
No.
to take advantage of that. I think the first one I seen was in Chicago in 1990.
It's a really beautiful cafe.
I somehow got in at just under 21. But yeah, it was a neat. And my buddy said, "Hey, we're going to go to this place." It's called, and I had never heard of them.
All right.
In 90.
And it probably looks a little different now than it did when you were there in 1990 because they do get redecorated with new memorabilia.
And that's something, I'm going to go that direction.
Yeah.
Hey guys, if you've just tuned in, we have the girls from the Hard Rock Cafe in, Marsha Timme, who is the assistant general manager and head chef, and Brooke Imshoff, who is head of sales and marketing at the Hard Rock Cafe in St. Louis. If you have any questions, feel free to call in. The number is 618-223-8054. You're listening to the Rick Fowler Show on Riot Radio. So how excited were you when you realized, oh my God, I'm going to be working at the Hard Rock Cafe?
Oh, it was very exciting. Coming from, other just normal everyday kind of restaurants and coming into Hard Rock Cafe, the the aura just being there is totally different. It's exciting.
Yeah.
We always say we want everything to be amplified, and that's what we do daily, day in, day out, just amplify everything, whether it's the music or the guests that are coming in, or if it's something behind the bar, or if we're going to have a band that night, or if we're going to have a group come through, if it's our rock shop, it's never the same. And that's what I was so excited about, to be part of a restaurant concept that doesn't like to keep things mundane. They keep it exciting.
Well, it sounds like no 2 days are the same there.
Ever.
No, never.
And there's something to be said for randomness. It makes it fun. What about you? How excited were you?
Well, I'll tell you what, I don't know who was more excited about it, me or everyone I told that I was going to work there, because the thing about Hard Rock is you can go anywhere in the world and you say, oh, I work for Hard Rock, and someone has a story.
Oh, right.
I told somebody in another, when I was in London, we were talking to somebody and they were like, oh yeah, I went to the Hard Rock in this place. And everyone's excited because everyone knows the brand and recognizes it. And I think I came from a hotel and everybody just, and you have that instant credibility for, it's a brand. It's 46 years young. I mean, it's amazing. I don't know how to even describe it because you're just so excited every day.
Yeah, and I would have to think it's, aside from being one of the most recognizable, it's so darn unique.
Yes.
It's not a beer, it's not a coffee, it's not just a hotel, it's kind of several cool things.
Museum and a bar and a shop, and
you can't get this just anywhere.
No.
Right, and that's what we say, if someone wants to come in and just look at the memorabilia, that's absolutely okay. It happens a lot. Like somebody will walk through the door that's a Kiss fan and knows that we have something from Kiss. Or, hey, I'm a huge Tina Turner fan. I heard that you have her black leather dress here. I want to see it. So they'll come in just to look at the memorabilia.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. And I bet many of them are like, well, this is really neat.
Oh, yeah.
Why don't we stay for a drink? And some of the head chef's good food.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which, by the way, they have brought me snacks. I mentioned it earlier. We're going to get to exactly what they brought, as if I needed more snacks. I haven't missed any meals. But tell us the paths that you guys took to get there.
Well, I guess I started in restaurants, when I was in high school, just serving and so on and so forth.
Now, I had no idea. Where at?
It was called Bubba and Coy's.
Oh, yeah, I remember. There was one on St. Charles Rock Road, way the heck out.
Yep, that's where I worked.
Really?
Yep.
You made that drive?
I did.
Wow. And you know what? They were also called Hatfield and McCoy's for a long time.
I think they started as Bubba and Coy's, and I think they switched over.
I couldn't remember which was first.
Yeah.
I loved the place.
Yeah, but I started, just serving then, and never in a million years did I think that restaurants was going to be my career. I went through serving jobs, bartending jobs, worked for a casino for a few years, worked for other restaurant concepts, owned my own bar and grill for a while until I had my family, and then you kind of can't put the time into it that you need to. Right. But then I ended up coming to Hard Rock, hiring in as an operations manager, and I was like, listen, I've been running kitchens my entire career. I want to run the kitchen. And they're like, well, you don't have a degree. So I went back and got my degree, and
she's awesome. We would be lost without her.
So then I came back and became our head chef and kitchen manager, and then just recently got promoted to the assistant general manager position.
Isn't that funny? She takes a few tests, and then it sure is good. She sure can cook.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're able to answer some test questions.
Right, exactly.
That makes absolutely no bit of sense, but it's the world we live in.
It's the world we live in.
Brooke.
Well, my degree is actually in elementary education. So I started as a teacher. I taught 3rd and 4th grade in public school for a couple of years, and it wasn't my thing. And so I taught science at the St. Louis Science Center for a year, and a job opened up in the events department. And I thought, well, shoot, I could do that. And I planned events and sold things for my sorority and for Mizzou, and so I made the transition over to events, and then I worked in a hotel as their catering sales manager, and the job opened up at Hard Rock, and I thought, well, listen, okay, selling events, selling groups, live music, it's game on. So I've been there ever since, and it's a challenge and fun every single day.
She's a great partner to work with.
I was going to say, it sounds like a fun place and a fun job, because at any point music can start playing and the whole place just erupts, doesn't it?
Yes.
I love it when the YMCA comes on and all the servers start dancing around and all the kids that'll be in for a group start doing the YMCA. And it's fantastic when you see a 6-year-old jump up and start doing it, along with the 80-year-old that may be sitting over at the next table. It's a sight to see.
It is.
And everybody smiling.
Yes. It's amazing how music can just do that. I mean, 80-year-olds, 2-year-olds, they know the YMCA, they know Thriller, they know those, Don't Stop Believin', they know those songs, and it's such a great equalizer, and that's how they started was, butchers and bankers, and it still is a great equalizer.
Wow. Well, let me ask you this. You're talking about your servers that just start performing and dancing right there. When you interview them, does it help their case in getting the job if they can perform?
No, not really.
Just as long as they're good servers and employees.
Yeah, I always tell everybody, when you come into Hard Rock, when a guest comes into Hard Rock, we need to make sure that they have the same experience here in St. Louis that they would if they were in London or Tokyo or East Coast or West Coast. So we want the highest level quality service that we can possibly give, along as with the highest level quality food that we can give. Yeah. So have fun while you're doing it, though. Yeah,
and I bet most of your employees do.
Yeah, well, and the difference with Hard Rock too is that they could have I don't know that I would because I'm not brave enough to do it, but they could have, I could have a pink mohawk if I wanted and it would be fine. So, you can have tattoos and jewelry and you can have fun colors in your hair and it's okay.
Because they embrace that.
We embrace it.
It's the rock lifestyle.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Almost like Riot Radio.
Yeah.
Which is what you're listening to on the Rick Fowler Show. We have Marsha Timme, who is the head chef and the assistant general manager, and Brooke Imshoff, who is the sales and marketing manager of the Hard Rock Cafe located over in St. Louis, telling us the behind the scenes and what goes into it, making it work. What about collections? I know you guys have to have some collections of various places you've went and other Hard Rocks.
We do, and it's funny, now when I started working for Hard Rock, everyone was like, "Okay, what are you going to collect? What are you going to do?" And I don't have enough space in my apartment for pint glasses or shot glasses, so I do the pins, and I've got all of my friends and my parents' friends trained now, so they get the custom pins for the city, because the regular pins, like a St. Patrick's Day pin, I can get that in my own rock shop. So,
right.
I try and collect the pins from all over the world. And it's interesting too. I'll say to people, I'll say to the servers a lot, "Hey, I'm going to go to New Orleans or I'm going to go to Orlando. Does anybody want pins?" And everybody picks them up, or somebody will say to me, "Hey, I'm going to go here. Let me pick you up a pin."
All right.
Everybody knows them and loves them.
So you like the pin, and how are they displayed? Where are they kept at?
You know what? I should probably do a better job of displaying them.
Prominently?
To be honest with you. They're on 5 or 6 lanyards in my office right now. But, I'm a little OCD when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Let me stop you there. I would bet you haven't displayed them because you're not done with the collection.
Probably. That's actually a solid point, yes.
Because as soon as you get them on the wall, then you get 10 more, and they're left out. And you're
Right.
like, oh my God, I can't have this.
It's a pain.
Oh, it's funny. We have what we call pin collectors, and they travel around the world collecting pins. And we had one pin collector that came in that had started collecting, early 80s. And he had, I want to say it was like 7,000
A ridiculous
pins
amount of
in
pins.
his collection. And it was just crazy. But they go around and they'll trade. It's pin trading,
Yeah.
and everybody will trade pins with them. And so that was probably the neatest collection I had ever seen.
Oh, absolutely.
And where did you see them at?
He came into the St. Louis Hard Rock.
He brought them in?
They have binders, and Hard Rock makes custom items for the pin collectors to hold their stuff in, to hold their pins in.
Almost like Disney World. I bet they've
yes.
got binders and
Absolutely.
I know they have the lanyards and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Marsha, what do you collect?
I do pins and T-shirts.
Okay.
Everybody always makes fun of me because every time they see me, I have a Hard Rock shirt on.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay. Why not represent where you work?
Represent, right.
You're proud of where you work at.
I am proud of where I work at, but I do pins too. I probably have about 3 lanyards full of pins. And again, it's one of those if somebody's traveling somewhere, they all know to pick me up a pin from whatever cafe they visit. But I'd say my T-shirts are my favorite.
How many do you have?
T-shirts?
Yeah.
Probably
Do you
30-ish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are they kept somewhere safe? Do you have one?
I have one section of my closet that's just all Hard Rock. Yeah.
Don't wear these to.
Right. Don't cook in these.
You're not
Don't
going to
do
make
anything.
brownies in these.
Yes.
No.
Wow. My collection, I have a number of them, but we're talking about the pins, and you can't display them because you're never done with it.
Right.
Many years ago, I started as a graphic designer, freelancing.
Sure.
And I did, and still do, logos for championship powerlifting events. I
very
competed
cool.
in a number of events and also did logos. And so when you're doing national or international events, a lot of times it's not just the T-shirt, but they also cast a championship medal. So I have a shoebox full of these medals at home that's probably 20 pounds of medals that are various championships that are very high level. But I won't put them on the wall or display them because I'm never done.
No.
Right.
And so I don't know how to. I'm like you.
Yeah, I can't. I will say I do separate them. Europe has its own lanyard. Asia has one. Yeah, I mean, I do separate them out, but I can't ever display them because I'm never done.
Right. So tell us about the menu. Somebody goes there, what can they expect?
We have a little bit of everything on our menu. A lot of people think that we're just burgers, but we're so much more. Obviously, we have our signature burgers, but we do ribs, barbecue, salads, pastas, wings. A little bit of what I brought you here is this is our jumbo combo that we call sampler platter. But we have a little bit of everything. Salmon, which I've heard a lot of people say it's their favorite thing that they have at Hard Rock is our salmon. So there's a good variety.
And so you were saying earlier that you could make all of this stuff from scratch.
Yes, we're from Scratch Kitchen.
Wow.
Anything we can, we do.
Boy, that sounds so good. And I had to tell you what, I had one of the chicken strips here earlier that were to die for.
Tupelo chicken tenders. They're amazing.
Tupelo chicken tenders.
Named after Elvis Presley.
And I tried, here's your Elvis trivia. He had a brother that died at birth, right? Name was?
I couldn't tell you.
It was Elvis Aaron and Jesse Guerin. There's your useless trivia.
I like it.
Yeah, from Tupelo. And I also had the bruschetta. Wow.
So good.
Now, for just being some, let's say, bread with some stuff on it, boy, that was good. That was really, really
It's
tasty.
cream cheese.
It's the cream cheese. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, I wasn't underscoring that it was just bread with stuff. You guys made it really, really good bread with stuff.
Well, the recipe's changed a little bit even since we've been working at Hard Rock, and I think the cream cheese is the difference.
There's more herbs in it.
Oh, so good. Yeah.
So, Marsha, have some of your own creations made it to the menu?
Yes, we have. Every cafe has their local legendary burger that's significant to your city. So ours is our toasted ravioli burger that we designed. So just some marinara sauce, mozzarella, toasted ravioli with a burger and a bun. And it's really exciting and tasty.
So toasted ravioli and a burger?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
We don't mess around.
No.
And how tall is that?
It's a good 6
It's
inches.
Good, yeah.
You have to
6 to
squeeze
7
it
inches.
down to
To bite into it, yes.
Or-
And then we top it with another ravioli right on top. So
We said we don't mess around.
What a mess.
you got to dissect it to eat it.
I was going to say, you almost have to, like you're in science class, cutting the thing apart.
Yes.
So good.
Holy cow.
But you're in St. Louis. You have to have toasted ravioli.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was shocked when other cities, growing up as kids, it's what you eat.
Mm-hmm.
When other cities had, it's not as popular elsewhere,
Right.
if at all. That and Busch beer. I didn't realize it was not a premium beer until
Right.
many years, and I tried to get it in Chicago. I said, "You don't have Busch?" What? Yeah, who wants to order that Busch beer stuff? So how many people does the Hard Rock Cafe seat?
It really depends. I can seat about 250 if you're coming, just regular guests with our patio, which is great. Our covered patio, and the light show is back there now, so they have a nice access to a show and fire. The Lotus Flower shoot fire, which is great. But for events, we've done events for between 400 and 500 people. So it's amazing how people come in and they do comment that it's a small Hard Rock, but we can seat a lot of people.
To feed that many people, you must have a gigantic kitchen.
It's a good size. I wouldn't say gigantic, but we utilize the space available to us very well.
Yes.
How in the world do you cook for that many people, make it still high quality, which I know you guys take pride on,
We do.
and then also having it out there in a somewhat timely fashion? That's a huge challenge.
That is all Marsha.
I'm very specific about way I want things done. When we have a huge event like that, I start planning weeks out, making sure I get the product in and talking to my team on who's going to be on the party, who's prepping what, who's staging, who's finishing, and I have a specific timeline on when I want this done and when this hits the floor, when this gets refilled. I've got a couple of very key people that work with me in my kitchen, and without them, I couldn't do it.
Who are some of your go-tos that really do it for you, that you lean on heavily?
I have a kitchen supervisor, Jason. He's amazing, and another one named Lynn. She's awesome. Both of them have been with Hard Rock for 15 years, I believe.
Each.
Each. And then I have a couple of night guys, Brian and Mario, that are at night that they can work their way around a kitchen.
Yeah.
Good with a knife, good knife skills. And that's kind of what you need. When I look at them and say, I want a small dice, I know that I'm going to get a small dice and I'm not going to get a large dice. Different things like that change the quality of the food that you're putting out for the guest. So,
Yeah.
Wow. Listen to that. You're making me hungry just hearing about all this. That's great.
I know.
And it's a good thing you guys have brought all these snacks. So tell us about some of your busier times. How do you handle it? How do you manage it? And is it a relief when you get through it?
I would say the busiest is when we have 200 hungry teenagers that come in and sit down at the same time.
Yes. Absolutely.
We do a lot of parties like that. And again, it's preparation. And it's knowing that, okay, we have a group of 200 that's going to walk in at 6 o'clock. Burgers ready, pasta's ready, getting buns ready, getting the bacon cooked off. So a lot of it's just getting things on the grill so it's hot, fresh, ready, and assembling and getting it out to the table. So we can get a party of 200, all their food out in 20 minutes.
Food and dessert.
20
Food
minutes.
and dessert. Absolutely.
And a staff of how many in the kitchen?
6.
6 people
Plus
cooking that
me.
much?
Plus, yeah.
Yeah, 6
Yeah, but you
plus
count
me.
for 3, so that's 9.
That's true.
6 plus, we'll call you 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
With your abilities, you sound like a kitchen Jedi here.
She is a kitchen Jedi.
Wow. And so at what point do you say, do you take a deep breath and say, you know what, we're out of the woods? When dessert's served? Or when it's
that
all...
last plate leaves the kitchen.
Those cookies
And
go
it's-
out. Yeah.
And then it's deep breath, and then let them eat. All right, guys, let's clean it up and do it again.
Man, that's really impressive to be able to put that many through and that fast. I had no idea. I'm thinking 200 people. God, you're going to be there long enough you're going to have to shave again. You know? That's,
She's a genius.
Well, it sounds like it. Any big names ever roll through the Hard Rock Cafe?
Many.
I know you probably can't tell me who, just
No.
because we like to protect
yeah.
guests,
Privacy.
and that's the right thing to do.
I mean, I can tell you a story that's actually kind of pertinent to right now. I was in Cleveland for my training. They send us off to Cleveland, to other cafes to train for about a month. And it's Hard Rock's policy that general managers and sales managers are the only ones that are really allowed to handle celebrities. So, I've done my training. I'm in the kitchen all day, which Marsha knows is not my forte. And I'm covered in food. I'm a mess. It's, 12:30 at night. I'm ready to go to bed. And I'm waiting down in the office for someone to take me back to the hotel. And I knock on the door and they come in and they're like, hey, Mitt Romney and John McCain just walked in.
Oh, listen to that.
So there's no GM here. You're the only sales manager here. You just have to do it. This is day one of training. I said, well, can I have a new shirt? They said, yeah, we'll get you a new shirt. Don't worry about it. But no, they were both very, very nice guys. And, obviously we are all sad about John McCain. But no, I mean, but they're normal people. So we treat them like normal people. And
right.
I kind of had a similar story, and I trained in Cleveland as well.
Yeah.
And it was like my first week of training, and there was this woman and her son sitting there eating dinner, and the general manager came over to me and said, do you know who that is? I was like, no. He's like, oh, that's Cyndi Lauper. I was like, and you would never have known. Just normal, every day, wanted to come in and have lunch with her son.
Well, and the times that people would roll through the airport at 5 a.m., I'm looking at them wondering, is that who I think it might be? No.
Right.
That damn it. And when I was with Homeland Security, I had the ability to say, hey, can I see your boarding pass? Which,
sure.
of course, had the name on it.
Right.
I'm like,
makes it easier.
Oh, wow. You are Billy Blanks.
Right.
I had no idea, But,
and I mean, I will say sometimes we get advance notice. I did have one. I don't think you even know this. I had one singer reach out to me. They will be coming through here in October, and they did reach out and they want to come back. I saw this person in concert and gave him some Hard Rock stuff, and he reached out and said, hey, I want to come back.
Good concert?
One of the best concerts I've ever been to.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And so he'll be coming back, and he's actually going to eat lunch in the cafe. He didn't the last time he was here, and now he said he wants to, so we're going to do that for him.
So would we be surprised at the number of celebrities that roll through the Hard Rock Cafe?
I mean,
I don't know, surprised.
yeah. So they know they come to Hard Rock and they can just eat a meal and no one will bother them.
It has its fair share of people that roll through.
Right.
Well, and I will tell you, the people that do roll through, they do come up and say, we always try and eat at Hard Rock because people treat us like normal people, and there's nobody asking for autographs, and we'll sit them wherever they want to sit. If they want a private room, we'll give them the private room. That's fine. But if they want to sit out with everyone else, okay, fine.
Right.
You're a person.
Well, and those guys always talk about not being able to be a normal person. How normal is it if you're tucked away in a room by yourself?
Absolutely.
That isn't normal.
I will say, because we are so close to the Scott Trade Center, sometimes they do want that private room because their fans are still in the building.
I get that too.
Yeah.
I could see that. Yeah. But yeah, you know what? My thing about autographs, I've never been I don't want anybody writing on my stuff. You're writing on my stuff. The hell I want this guy writing on my stuff for? No.
I think it depends on who it is, because there are some people that I was like, yes, I like Stan the Man. I'd be all over that. But
Stan is not writing on my stuff. I will shake hands with Stan, and I will say, you know what? I've heard I've never seen him play ball. What would I say to him? Well, you're Stan Musial. I don't know.
Well,
It was funny when I was younger. I was all about the autographs, and now I'm like, no, I just the fact that I got to meet you is fine.
Yeah,
that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
Working for Hard Rock makes it a little easier to be calm around celebrities as well
Yeah.
and know what to say.
Well, what people would come through the airport, and it would be somebody that I've watched on television. I can never replace that experience or that time that I had with this guy. Not entertaining them, but maybe assisting them come through.
Yeah.
And so I have that to remember rather than, oh, this guy wrote on a piece of paper and I crumbled it up and I don't even know where it's at
What did I
right
do
now.
with that piece of paper?
Although I will say, I don't think my father would ever forgive me if I did not get a Stan the Man. I think he'd lose his mind. So,
Well, one of the and I've told this for the 4 people that listen to my show, they've heard this. I was a big fan of Lou Brock growing up.
Sure.
And he came through, and most of these guys that would come through, you would see him, hey, how you doing? And that's about it. Mm-hmm. But this one particular time he came through, and I was on the A checkpoint, probably 2011. There is Lou Brock at the end of my belt. Stuff has already went through. I said, kid, come over here. You're taking this X-ray. I need to go talk to this guy. And I went and told him, I said, I got to tell you, I was a fan growing up. I had number 20 on my back, and I wanted to be Lou Brock. Yeah. And he was as cool as can be, and so there was never any wanting him to write him a stuff. So, well, that's kind of neat. What kind of memorabilia do you guys have at the restaurant? So
Well,
people go there, what can they expect to see?
Every cafe, everybody comes in and is like, what's your most priceless piece of memorabilia? And ours is a hand-painted watercoloring by Jerry Garcia. So we also have a big fur coat from John Entwistle. A lot of people think that's our most priceless piece, and it's not. It's a hand-painted watercoloring.
Okay, tell me who John and Whistle...
He's
The
from
Who.
The Who.
Oh, okay.
From The Who.
I should know that because I seen them last year when they were here.
You should know that.
I don't know if he was with them or not, or if he's even still alive, is he?
No, he that coat, the fun story, well, it's not really fun, but the story behind that coat, one of our memorabilia gurus told me the story, is that that coat was the last coat he was photographed in before he died in the Hard Rock Hotel in Vegas.
Oh,
Yeah.
so
So
there,
it's pretty cool.
there is some history to that.
Oh,
There is.
to clarify, he did not die in that coat, just to be clear, but he was photographed in it for a photo shoot, and then he died in the Hard Rock Hotel in Vegas.
Oh, wow. So he wasn't there when I seen them last year.
No.
My buddies seem to think, and I'm not sure why they would think this, that I breached security at the Scott Trade Center and snuck in and watched the concert. I don't know why in the world they would think that. But it was a hell of a concert.
It was a great concert. No, but then it's kind of cool because every cafe also pays tribute to their local musicians. Yeah. So, like for us, we've got Tina Turner, Ike Turner, Sheryl Crow, Story of the Year. We have one corner that's dedicated to them as well.
Okay. Any big events coming up or anything that you guys are hosting?
We have live music now 3 nights a week. Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Starting in August will be Saturdays. But so we have different local artists that are playing, and they're all fantastic. This Friday we'll have Shotgun Creek playing, which they're awesome.
I've heard of them. I've been actually talking to them. They may be a future guest on the Rick Fowler Show.
Nice.
There we go.
And I mean, October is going to be a very big month for us. October, we are going to be celebrating Down Syndrome Awareness Month, partnering with the Down Syndrome Association of Greater St. Louis. We're going to have a big event on October 14th that is for people, adults and kids with Down syndrome, will be playing with a professional musician and a volunteer. And they'll be playing on the stage, 4 to 5 bands with all of these amazing, amazing people. And they're going to play on the stage, and we're going to have a silent auction, and we're going to raise money for the
listen
Down
to that.
Syndrome Association of Greater St. Louis.
Well, that is near and dear to my heart because if you didn't know it, the shirt that I'm wearing today is a Special Olympics shirt.
There you go.
I'm a Special Olympics sports trainer and did a lot of event directing with them. So, yeah, good for you guys. Can people make reservations?
Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
That's part of my job.
Oh, good. Well, good. Yeah. Well sometimes you gotta clue me in here. Fill me
Yeah,
in,
no, you
so.
can call the cafe. You can make reservations online as well.
What's the best way to reach you? Do they go online or Facebook or just look at the number?
You can call us 314-621-7625. Give us a phone call. We'd be happy to take them.
Okay.
The best way to really get in touch with us is through Facebook. Besides calling the restaurant, if you're online and you want to reach us, Facebook is the best because there are several administrators of our page, and so someone will get back to you very quickly.
And I will tell people that it is the Hard Rock Cafe St. Louis, so it's very easy to find.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, before we cut you guys loose, here are my 3 questions that I always ask every guest. Tell us some of the quirks that nobody would ever guess about you.
Go ahead.
And they can be as innocent or whatever, or you absolutely don't touch Marsha's knives or you lose a finger.
Well, that's true.
Don't touch a French fry.
Don't touch a French fry. That's
touch
true.
a French fry.
Don't touch a French fry in the back of the kitchen?
Yes. I always play with my servers. Touch my French fries, I will cut your fingers.
Do not take any food off this plate
Do
because it's
not
going out that
touch it.
door,
Yes.
or I'll effing kill you.
I like to watch my food cost.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess that's a quirk.
Oh,
but
so you're talking about the cost of before it gets on a plate, too?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Oh, don't eat the stuff
Don't
because
touch
we're
my food.
No.
Yes.
No.
okay.
I'm very mean about that.
Because I'm on the hook for the everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my responsibility.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, that's
something-
funny, Brooke.
I have a pretty solid British accent.
You do.
I do. I do. And I actually sometimes use it when I'm on the phone with people and I don't want to talk to them, for very long. And so
Listen
I
to that.
turn it on and there you are.
Oh my God, she just did it right here without being prompted.
Yep.
I wasn't
She's great at it.
I wasn't going to say, so let's hear it. And then she's, no, I can't do that on command. No.
No, you don't do it on command in Britain, but you can do it everywhere else.
Right. Any others? Anything we should know about you? We're writing the chart on you here.
I don't know. Anything else to know about me?
Marsha's amazing. She's a really great partner, and she makes amazing food. So if you're coming down, you're going to eat well. Just know that.
I imagine there's some crazy over-planning that goes on with you two.
The best thing about working with Brooke is just our communication factor.
Yeah.
I'm always going in her office, Brooke, or I'll come back into my office and there'll be stuff laying on my desk for me. So I got this party, I got that party. We're doing this, we're doing that.
We're both overachievers, and we're both really significant planners. I mean, I sometimes we make a plan to make a plan. So I'll say, hey, Marsha, I'm going to have lunch at this time. We should talk about these 3 things. And then we do.
Do you guys ever butt heads about which plan you're going to use and which has the better plan?
I don't think we butt heads.
No.
We've had discussions.
Yeah, but it's always very civil.
Yeah, always very civil.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, in a lot of relationships, one is a real big planner and one maybe isn't, and one's a big spender and one's not. My wife and I were both phenomenal in the planning and preparing and everything else, that we would often butt heads. And it's like, no, if you would just listen, I have a wonderful plan. You need to listen to me. So I get it.
Yeah.
What helps me is that she's not really strong in the kitchen. She's
true.
really great when it comes to the front of the house aspect of it, but when it comes to the kitchen, she pretty much leaves it up to me.
Yeah, no, I mean, I can cook and bake in my own kitchen, but I don't even want to touch what she does because I see what she can do, and
and mine's vice versa. If I couldn't plan the events and so forth the way she does, so it's a good partnership.
Yeah,
I've had times where I've told my wife, that's your area, I don't want anything to do with it. So yeah, I won't get in your business there. You're on death row. What's your last meal going to be? Or meals?
Pasta.
Oh yeah.
It's my one downfall.
Now, aside from Hard Rock Cafe, where do you love to get pasta from in St. Louis? You have a favorite? Where does the head chef go? Where?
Zia's.
Okay.
Got to go to the Hill.
All right.
that would be my answer as well. Pasta
Zia's?
con broccoli from Zia's.
Yep.
I'm all about it.
I'm going to go with the Hill also.
Yeah.
But it's going to be Favazza's.
Okay.
And
Also
it's
a
not,
good choice.
It's not going to be anything with a vegetable. Get those vegetables the hell out of there. It's going to be with seafood.
I'm a seafood tw.
There's seafood pasta.
And I've never been seafood, so I'm all about the broccoli and the mushrooms.
Okay. I'm not sure what would happen to me if I ate a vegetable. I might have to find that out at some point. All right. The one person, famous or not, who is living or dead, that you'd love to either meet or see again. People have taken this in a million directions. It can be family member. If you don't want to go that direction and you want to go somewhere not quite as deep and go famous, it's your question.
I'm going to be a little sentimental.
All right.
My youngest son is a Marine.
Yeah.
And I would love it if he was home right now.
Oh,
So
there you
seeing
go.
him.
That's fair.
Somebody living.
Yes.
That's awesome.
And see, for me, I'm torn because, you know, the historian in me would say Henry VIII and Anne Boleyn, but then the realist in me says Queen Elizabeth with little Kate Middleton on the side. So
Oh, that's funny stuff.
both English monarchs, but it's fine.
Well,
She loves her Britain.
I do.
Yeah, well, good for you. And I can tell she's been to the Hard Rock over there, the original one.
It's amazing.
Well, guys, I sure appreciate you coming in and being on the Rick Fowler Show.
Our pleasure.
Thanks so much.
It was,
Thank you.
fun. All right, that is Marsha Timme, who is the head chef and assistant general manager down at the Hard Rock Cafe in St. Louis, as well as Brooke Imshoff, who is the sales and marketing manager down at the Hard Rock. Thanks a lot for coming on.
Our
Thanks for
pleasure.
having
Thank
us.
you.
All right, hey, listen, we're going to play some commercials, and we'll be right back on the Rick Fowler Show on Riot Radio. Don't go anywhere.
That's a wrap.
That'll do it for this week from the Riot Radio bunker.
Do you feel blame? Are you mad? Do you feel like Woods Kebab's right friends? Get friends.
Want to play? Then I'm getting the out of here.
This is your celebration. But it's much too late for goodbye. Yes, it's much too late for goodbye.
Hello, my old friend. How are you today?
You've been listening to The Rick Fowler Show.
Stay low, move fast,